ably assisted by Mr. Stephen Miller, quickly in the President's second administration developed policies to secure our southern border, policies that you and the Department of Homeland Security implemented. And I congratulate all of you on your success. Properly vetting people at the southern border is not racist, is it?
No.
Could you answer for the record?
No, it is not racist.
Properly vetting people at the southern border is prudent, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
And to do that, we need the border patrol, do we not?
Yes, we do.
And we also need ICE, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I just wanted to get my congratulations on the record. I believe you have a policy, Madam Secretary, that you have to approve all contracts in your department over $100 million.
No, sir, I have a policy in place that I review contracts. My deputy chiefs have the ability to review anything under $5 million. Above that, I evaluate and look at.
Okay. And you do that, I understand, to try to curb waste and abuse of taxpayer money, is that right?
Yes, sir. In fact, it's been extremely effective. We've saved the taxpayers over $13.2 billion just by evaluating contracts, negotiating lower ones, and canceling ones that aren't necessary to fund duties.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have
Hello, how are you?
$220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting a message out to the
Hey everybody, how's it going? SpinCycle back. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Hello, Camry. Is that how you say Camry? Cameron. How you doing, Cameron? And Bo Pratt, hi. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Thanks, guys. If you didn't see this interview, it's pretty interesting. This is deep red Republican Senator Kennedy interviewing Kristi Noem, Ice Barbie, about how much she spends on commercials.
With putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who.
Just so you know what you're watching, she spent $220 million. That's $250 million almost on TV commercials featuring her for the Department of Homeland. That's $220 million of, if you're American, our tax money.
Who would do those.
So she could be a celebrity.
And the people that you ended up picking
Espresso.
were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota, is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
It is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this at that time, is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am, I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but
We had conversations, that's another way of lying and saying, no, I didn't ask President Trump if I could spend $220 million on ads featuring myself. Skylar, we have a big Trump fan here. Okay, Skylar, go ahead and sign up. Go ahead and subscribe. Go Trump, more. Ralph, more Trump fans. You think Trump's a fan of this, spending $250,000? I know he likes to steal money from the government coffers, but
$220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly, worked with OMB. Yes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. that
Effective
overwhelmingly,
in your name recognition. I mean, I personally just, I mean, to me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot.
No, I don't like Trump, Skylar. Sorry, I don't like the Epstein class. I don't like being lied to. My favorite politician is Bernie Sanders. Trump's just another billionaire stealing money from the American people. I'm sorry you can't see that, but maybe if you subscribe and watch some of my videos, you'll be more enlightened and aware.
And and I'm not saying you're not telling the truth, it's just hard for me to believe on the president, as I do, that you said, Mr. President, here's some ads I cut, and I'm gonna spend $220 million running them, that he would have agreed to that. I don't think Russ Vought at OMB would have agreed to that. It's something we have to defend. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. I mean, my research shows that you did not bid them out, that you picked, in fact, one of the people you picked, the strategy group, Safe America Media was a company formed 11 days before you picked them, and that the strategy group got most of the money, and the head of that is married to your former spokesperson. Look, we all have friends who are qualified. I'm not quibbling with that. It troubles me.
Nope, don't like Biden either.
$250 billion.
Okay, you've obviously never been here before, but I despise Joe Biden because he's a corporate shill, and Trump for the same reasons. I don't know, what your political affiliations are, Skylar. Obviously, you like Trump. I don't know how long you've been involved in politics, but Trump said he was going to do a lot of things, and all he really did was enrich himself. And that's all the Bidens did and the Clintons, Yeah, you could keep saying go Trump, but tell me one thing Trump's done for you. He started a war in Iran. His family's made $1 billion. What's Trump done for you? Or are you just some rich kid that likes Trump because you get a tax break? How did he make America better? Didn't gas go up 11 cents last night? Is that better? Or 11%, something like that? Because he started a war for no reason for Israel, because Israel has dirt on him with Epstein. Look into Bernie Sanders. Show me the dirt on Bernie Sanders. There is no dirt on Bernie Sanders. And clean hands is one thing. Child rapist is another thing. Have you read the latest Epstein files? Have you looked at the latest Epstein files? Trump's covering up a 13-year-old girl that's accusing him of punching her in the head while she was sucking on his penis. Charlie Kirk wasn't a politician. You know that Charlie Kirk's main motivation was money. His estate was worth $12 million. He was 31 years old, and he got that all from billionaire donors. Okay, Skylar. If you don't want to hear the truth, then please go. Live in your Trump fantasy land.
Taxpayer money, when we're scratching for every penny and we're fighting over rescission packages, I just can't agree with Madam Secretary. Are you still running those ads?
Senator, I did not have anything to do with picking those contractors. No politicals at the Department of Homeland Security did.
I understand.
Mayor officials followed the competitive
She's
bid
lying.
process.
Are you still running
Everything
those
was,
ads?
I think the ads are due to end here in March, I think within a week,
So
which
they
I'm
are
not
still
sure.
running?
The one that is running is focusing on angel families. Have you seen that? It is the one that's talking about this is our why. This is why we work every day,
Okay.
is for the angel
I've got to
families and
move
their
on.
victims that need to.
After the two killings.
Look at this
in
kid. He's like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to go smoke a bowl.
And I think,
He looks like maybe he's his
there's a lot of
grandson.
video on
They
it.
kinda look alike,
Secretary,
right?
I think people can.
Nepotism
see
is
video and draw their own conclusions.
nepotism is the way America runs. After all.
You and your department conducting an investigation of those?
Yeah,
Sir,
fuck
the
all
investigation
politicians.
is
I
being led
agree.
by The FBI.
Except
HSI
Bernie
was involved.
Sanders.
In fact, our HSI had agents on the
I'm
ground.
sorry to cut you off, but I got
And-
some of the time. I believe at the time, you said these were acts of domestic terrorism, is that right?
Sir, in answer to questions at the press conference that afternoon, it was that it appeared to be.
Yeah. But you said these appeared to be acts of domestic terrorism.
And as I've said previously in this hearing, is that
First, Madam Secretary, did you
we
say
were
that?
getting
I think it's been
information from
widely
a chaotic scene on the
Did you say
ground
that?
and relaying information to the American people.
Now, again, those videos are public, people can draw their own conclusions. I think it'd be safe to say you got some pushback on that, but that'd be fair,
Yes, sir.
and you had some criticism. I'm not saying the criticism was accurate or inaccurate, I think you did. What got my attention was that you blamed those statements on Mr. Stephen Miller at the White House, did you not?
No, sir, I did not. And in fact, where you're seeing that is in a news article of anonymous sources. And anonymous sources say a lot of things, but I have never said that at all.
Well, here's what you said on the record. I'm going to read your words. Quote, everything I've done at the direction of the president and Stephen.
Sir, where did you see me say that at? You read that in a news article with no
You
sources
said it on
related to.
record on January 27th, 2026. Did I read your words accurate?
I enjoy working with the president and with Stephen Miller, and that day we were working to get as much information to the American people as possible. That is what we'll continue to do, and as that happens, we'll go
Do you
forward.
think it was fair to blame Mr. Miller?
Sir, I did not do that. You're reading from a newspaper article
Yes,
with
ma'am.
anonymous sources.
Are you denying that you said that?
Sir, I'm not going to speak to that situation that is relayed on anonymous sources that no
It's
one
not
has heard me
anonymous.
say that.
It was you.
No, who
You
reported
said-
that to that newspaper?
They're quoting you on the record, saying it's Stephen's fault. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Support journalism.
What do you think, guys? You think Kristi Noem's been doing a good job? I know a lot of people do. I think she's, a two-bit hustler, stealing money from the government. $220 million in ads featuring her. She's just trying to, get her stardom, get her 15 minutes of fame right now. And after she's out of, just like the rest of them, after Trump is gone and she's out of office, she'll get some cush job somewhere, making $1 million or $2 million a year, or maybe, from the looks of her with all that plastic surgery, she'll probably end up on Fox News, or one of those news channels, or maybe just start her own podcast like, Bongino and Patel and those guys. What do you think? Go ahead and comment. If you're new, please subscribe to the SpinCycle. So I just caught that ad, and I caught that video, and I had to get on here and show it to you guys. I got a new video I'm dropping myself. What do you guys think about war? Are you for the Iran war? Let me take a quick poll here. Who's for the Iran war? Gas went up 11% last night. It's quickly going up to $100 a barrel. You know what that means for you and me? That means 2023 gas prices again. $4, 450, depending on where. Colorado, where I live, it's going to be, you know, 430 a gallon or something. I think it peaked at for, you know, regular 87 mixed ethanol gas, which sucks for your car. Are you guys for Trump's war? I'm gonna head over to X, see what's going on over there with the war. So tell me, guys, what do you think? I mean, this war is for Israel. Are you down with our money and our young men and women going to die in Iran so Israel can, I don't know, whatever, so they can feel safer? I mean, they're already pretty safe with all the ammunitions and weapons that we give them. This is pretty creepy. Is that AI? I don't know. Looks too old of a video to be AI, but I guess you could do that with AI. But it's probably real. Trump getting ready to molest some girls.
Yahoo is demanding it. And we also are completely done with the idea that, this decades-long idea that we're doing it to spread democracy because we believe in international liberalism. There was no imminent threat to the United States when Trump made this decision to do what Bibi wanted. And I want to be clear here. This was not Trump's decision. It was Bibi Netanyahu's decision. And that is the reason that he did it. And we're very aware that Israel is dictating our foreign policy, and we would...
I don't agree with Candace Owens much, but she's 100% right there. This was Bibi Netanyahu. He's got something on Trump. If you guys didn't know, Bibi came to Washington 7 times since Trump's been elected in 1 year, or just over 1 year. The last time he came was like last month, a few weeks ago, and he told Trump, motherfucker, you're going into Iran, or I'm letting the Epstein files out so everybody knows what you did to those girls.
now like that to stop.
Okay, but you wouldn't disagree, presumably, that Iran has been the main sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East through the Houthis, through Hezbollah, through Hamas. I mean, that's widely accepted and recognized. They've done it.
It's widely accepted. No, that's just kind of...
Really? You don't think
Israel
that?
has been a terrorist state. Okay, Israel right now is imparting a genocide and a Holocaust on the Gazan people. So I'm really over this idea like somehow Israel has the moral high ground and we have to get behind that.
I didn't say
We got to go after the bad guys. So it's rich to me that people are concerned about Iran having nukes, but I'm concerned about Israel, who won't even admit that they have nukes, having nukes, while at the same time they are executing a genocide and a Holocaust in Gaza that the world is watching. So who's the bigger terrorist is the question.
But when the leader of Iran is death to America, why doesn't that concern you?
Why are they chanting death to America? Maybe it has something to do with just like killing 1 million Iraqi civilians, okay? Because Bibi Netanyahu on a congressional stage and said there are weapons of mass destruction, and we took that to the bank, and there actually were no weapons of mass destruction, so we just killed 1 million. It could have something, I could be crazy, it could have something to do with our actions in the Middle East, that we know that Bibi Netanyahu funded the Al-Qaeda adjacent fronts because he wanted to overthrow Syria. Bibi Netanyahu funded Hamas. There's footage of Bibi Netanyahu saying this stuff on camera. So it's just so ridiculous to me to pretend that they're in some predicament, that they may be eradicated soon, which is why they have to keep funding all of these terrorist groups and then pretend that they're victims of terror, when in fact they are people that are imparting it worldwide. Okay? And again, these never-ending wars in the Middle East at the behest of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu is the one that called for Americans to invade Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, and now Iran, and we've done it. And we're done with the BS of, okay, well, they weren't really involved, Israel in Afghanistan, because even when we fight those never-ending wars, Israel wins. Everybody knows that our boys were out there in Afghanistan guarding poppy fields, okay? And do you know what happened after we allegedly, quote-unquote, lost in Afghanistan? What happened to all those poppy fields, those poppy flowers that our military was guarding? Well, the opioid crisis in America via the Sackler family, who quite literally built the School of Medicine at Tel Aviv University. So we're just done, okay? And there's no way that we're going to go backwards. We're not going to allow you guys to emotionally condition us to go, oh, well, we got to protect Israel because of the Holocaust. It is over. They're imparting a Holocaust. America would like off this crazy train.
Yeah. Even though I don't really agree with Candace Owens that much, I gotta agree with Candace Owens that America wants off this crazy train. We don't want to send our people and our money to Israel to fight Iran. Yeah, hello. Waylay, how are you? Yeah, this is true. Go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, it's more than annoying. Gas is flying up. You know, once gas goes up, gas went up 11% last night. With gas, it takes gas to get everything all over the United States. All the food and everything, it's all trucked all over. So inflation's going to creep up now too. Trump never brought inflation down. It's the same right now, 3% as it was when he took office. And it's going to go straight up to 4%, 5%, 6%. You watch. Unless he ends this crazy war here soon.
Everything I'm about to say is absolutely true. If you doubt anything that I'm saying, you have it. You have a computer, you have a search engine, you have access to the internet, you can go verify everything I'm saying. Israel, modern Israel, is the abortion capital. In Israel, you can kill the baby in the womb of the mother up until the very moment that that baby is born. Up until the very moment of delivery, you can legally kill that baby. Not only that, the Israeli government will pay for the abortion of every Israeli woman. Full-term abortions paid for by the state of Israel. Do we hear any?
And if you guys don't already know, I know I repeat this all the time. Everybody in Israel has free health care, free government health care, and we give them billions of dollars a year, and we get no health care in the U.S.
Thing from the Family Research Council, Focus on the Family, or any other so-called conservative Christian pro-life, pro-family organization about Israel being the abortion capital of the world? Anything about, they talk about Democrats, they talk about pro-abortion this candidate, pro-abortion that politician, pro-abortion this, pro-abortion that. Yet, when it comes to the abortion capital of the world, Israel, they will say nothing. Hypocrites to the core. It's because they have an agenda. And the agenda is lining their own pockets with the money that they receive from Zionist donors. And the Zionist donors give them that money so they will keep their mouths shut. And that's exactly what they do.
Okay, let me address this. What is it? Ogle, these. This is what people voted for. Why cry about it? Did people vote for this? Trump said no wars. Who voted for war? I don't think any of MAGA voted for war. I certainly didn't vote for war. I didn't vote for Trump either. I didn't like either candidate. But did people vote for this? People voted for a better economy and lower prices. They didn't vote for war with Iran. So let's get that thought out of our heads right now.
But it doesn't end there. Tel Aviv, not San Francisco, is the homosexual capital of the world. Did you know that? Check it out.
I didn't know
Tel
that.
Aviv is the homosexual capital of the world. Israel is the mafia crime capital of the world. Israel is the sex trafficking capital of the world. Jeffrey Epstein is just one of many Mossad agents involved in sex trafficking for the purpose of bribing powerful politicians all over the world. Israel is the warfare capital of the world. Most of the wars that America has been involved in since World War II has been directly because of Israel. For all intents and purposes, America's military is a proxy army for Israel. We are fighting Israel's wars, Israel's so-called enemies. Israel is the genocide capital of the world. Do you know that since Israel became a state in 1948, over 5 million Palestinians have been killed by Zionist state? 5 million. That's a genocide. Yet Hagee and his ilk would tell us that the Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews, most of whom are atheists, living in Palestine today, are God's chosen people. Really? Are you beginning to see the fallacy of it all? Are you beginning to see the foolishness of it all? Are you beginning to realize that somebody is trying to distort truth and propagandize and cause us to believe something that is in direct violation to everything that is of God and everything that is of our Constitution?
I can say, it is so much worse than you thought. You're right to be worried. Trump administration has no plan in Iran. This illegal war is based on lies, and it was launched without any imminent threat to our nation. Donald Trump still hasn't given a single clear reason for this war, and he seems to have no plan for how to end it either. Like a lot of you, I am really angry. I am angry at what Donald Trump is doing, and I feel grief that is already killed in this unnecessary conflict. And I will keep doing everything I can to.
First time guest on the show, Professor Chang. He is the star of the popular YouTube channel Predictive History. He uses game theory to analyze past, current, and to predict future geopolitical events. And he joins us now. Professor, great to have you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, of course. So, for people who aren't familiar with your work, I wanted to show folks that back in 2024, you made 3 big predictions. 1, that Trump would win. 2, that he would start a war with Iran. And 3, that the U.S. would lose that war. Let's take a listen to that.
In this class, this semester, I'm making 3 big predictions, right? First is that Trump will win in November. Second is that the United States will go to war against Iran. And the third big prediction is that the United States will lose this war, which will forever change the global order.
So obviously that last one is the only one that has not yet come to fruition. Is quite a stunning prediction. Do you stand by it, and what have you seen so far that leads you to sort of stand firm in that conclusion?
So, given my analysis of how the war is progressing, I think that Iran has many more advantages over the United States. The reality is that right now, it's a war of attrition between the United States and Iran, and the Iranians have been preparing 20 years for this conflict. In their eschatology, in their religion, this is a war against the great Satan. They've had many practice runs. Last June was a 12-day war when the Iranians were able to examine and analyze the strike capacities of both the Israelis and the Americans. and they had a lot of time, 8 months, to prepare fully for this new attack. They, through their proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Shia militias, have been able to really grasp the American mentality, and now they have a pretty good strategy of how to weaken and ultimately destroy the American empire. So what the Iranians are doing is they're waging war against the entire global economy, and so they are striking the GCC countries. And not only are they striking GCC countries, market bases, they're going after the critical energy infrastructure of these bases. They block leverage of Hormuz. Eventually, they will go after the water desalination plants, which is the lifeblood of these nations because they don't have fresh water supply. In fact, the water desalination plants provide 60% of the GCC's water supply. So if a drone, and these drones cost $50,000, if they wipe out a desalination plant in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
So those $50,000 drones that Iran's sending out are the same ones that Russia's been using because they've been getting them from Iran. We used missiles that cost $1 million each to take out those drones. So that's your taxpayer dollars. A $1 million missile taking out a $50,000 drone. And a lot of times it takes more than one. In fact, let me see. There's some video. Here we go. See, they're trying to take out this. These missiles we're firing at it cost $1 million each. They're trying. It's hard to see. They're trying to take it out. That's $2 million. 2 so far. Miss. Miss. $3 million. Here's the third one. Not that effective.
Please, saga, and it's almost conclusive proof. It's as close to conclusive proof, I guess, as we can ever get that he's not dead. Jeffrey Epstein had his prostate removed. And how do we know? Because it's in the Epstein files. Here it is. You have high testosterone and still have a need for Viagra because you don't have a prostate, right? Jeffrey Epstein. Correct. So he didn't have a prostate. There's another one. A patient, Epstein, Jeffrey. This is from LabCorp. This is in the files. It says that after radical prostatectomy, we had a radical prostatectomy. This is from the autopsy of Jeffrey Epstein. His bladder had 5 milliliters of cloudy yellow urine. The prostate is slightly and diffusely enlarged with marked enlargement of the vermilopatithana. The testes are unremarkable. Boy, you don't want to hear that about your testes, do you? Brock, is it possible to grow a replacement prostate? Brock says no, it's currently not possible to grow a full replacement prostate gland for clinical use in humans. While research has made impressive progress in understanding prostate regeneration and creating lab-grown models, no technology exists today to produce a transplantable, fully functional human prostate replacement suitable for implantation. So no, if Jeffrey Epstein autopsy notes the health of his prostate, but it's known that he had previously had it removed, then he either miraculously grew a new one or that wasn't his body. There's really no other conclusions to be had. I agree with you, Awakened Outlaw. I agree with you. He didn't have a prostate, and the body that went through the autopsy did have a prostate, conclusively proving that that is not Jeffrey Epstein's body that they showed us. Jeffrey Epstein is 100% still alive. I'm going to go with 100%.
And thousands of times. And Trump's name is all over these files, all over it. I mean, thousands and thousands of times. And if you spend any real time with these files, you will see references to 17-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls, and I saw a reference today to a 9-year-old girl. So it is a really gruesome and grim story, and I think in order to see our way through this and to try to make progress on criminal investigation and prosecution and some kind of social redemption from this whole nightmare, we need to listen to the survivors. Trump's name is all over these files.
$143 million was a no-bid contract. Public documentation says the contract of $143 million went to the Safe America company, created 11 days before they got an award. That company then subcontracted with the strategy group, and you are familiar with many of the principals in the strategy group, correct?
I know one of them,
Mr. Yoho.
yes.
And let me show you a photograph. That's Mr. Yoho standing next to you, correct?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Yoho is also the husband of your former spokesperson. Is that correct?
Correct.
Tricia McLaughlin?
Yes.
So your former assistant secretary and her husband are the ones that got the subcontract from Safe America, or from Safe America. That's what the record shows. Any dispute about that?
No.
Young, why would Epstein say that about you?
Are you asking his opinion? You're asking him to think about why Mr. Epstein would say something about him?
Why would Epstein say that
She's
about
asking you to try to be in Mr. Epstein's mind and guess at what Mr. Epstein would have thought about.
Jen likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, that's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage
I didn't say underage, I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody younger than
Did
I
you
am.
know Jeffrey Epstein instructed a witness to deny you were ever on his island?
Well, I think Clinton's got
I was
Parkinson's.
never there.
Did you ever travel to Zorro Ranch?
Is that the one in New Mexico?
Yes.
No.
Okay, have you ever flown on anyone else's private jet 26 times or more for overseas trips?
I have flown as many miles on other jets, but never with as many stops.
How many other people's planes have you used, like Epstein 26 times or miles, etc.?
I don't know, I did with Steve Bain, who's now deceased. And probably with four fellows.
Okay, so maybe about a half dozen billionaires total, so. How many dinners did you have with Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein in attendance?
She's asking to the best of your recollection.
I have no idea.
Okay, did you ever discuss sexual misconduct?
Oh man, that's hard to watch. Clinton's getting old. That's shaking. I think he has Parkinson's. Okay guys, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Watch some of my other videos. I do these lives a couple times a week, but I have pre-recorded videos that I've thought out and stuff. You know, I have all kinds of political opinions on there. Go ahead and watch, subscribe. Thanks for watching. One person who's watching. And I'll see you guys next time.